Consider this. The median household income of Americans in 2019 was just over $68,000. If starting a budget caused you to save even 1% more of your yearly income, that would be an average of $56 per month of savings. When your $56 per month is then invested over your 40-year work life at a 6% rate of return, suddenly you have an extra $110,000 for retirement, just from budgeting. Do I have your attention? Now let's go over 6 tips that'll help make your budget a success in 2021. So hit the like and subscribe buttons and let's get started. Hey, my name is Caleb and my goal is to teach you the boring topic of finance in an entertaining way. My tiny desk and I are truly honored that you're here. Look at this thing. 19 inches wide. And yes, we painted one of these walls. Yeah, I like it. So last Friday, I showed you how to make your first budget ever using an app that Bailey and I personally use called EveryDollar. In it, we set up an example budget that's in pretty good detail. You can watch it here. In today's video, we're gonna look at 6 do's and don'ts of budgeting and how you can use them to make your budget successful, whether it's your first or otherwise. Tip 1, do track expenses after each transaction. Every dollar of your income and expenses is important, so each transaction should be recorded. That's why I like budgeting apps so much. If Bailey or I go to the grocery store, we can immediately pull out our phones and input that chocolate milk purchase, or whatever you buy at the grocery store. Now you might be a sit down a couple times a month and track your expenses type of person. That's fine. But if you want as few of surprises as possible, make sure you track each expense right after you've made it. Then you don't have to track a lot of expenses all at once and realize that you don't have enough money left for hitting the like button for the rest of the month. I'm kidding. Hitting the like button for the YouTube algorithm is completely free to you and helps out my channel more than you can know. Tip 2, don't go budgeting alone. If you're married and you're the money person, don't do a budget without your spouse knowing what's going on as well. It's best to do it together. Now I'm not saying you have to make the budget together. I'm encouraging you to agree on the budget together. Then everyone gets a say in where the money's going and there are fewer surprises along the way. If you're single, ask a family or friend if they're willing to keep you accountable. Now it's not like you have to ask them to go through your bank statement every month and ensure that you aren't spending too much money on pillows. Just let them know what your financial goals are as well as some of your tough areas for budgeting, and just ask them to check up on you occasionally and see how it's going. It might save you from that frappuccino next time you're out, though frappuccinos are delicious. Tip 3, and this is a given, do stick to your budget. This is obviously important because financial knowledge alone is not going to get you to a dignified retirement. You have to act. If you budget $100 per month for restaurants but you spend $200 a month, that budget is doing you no good. You gotta stick to it. Now before we get into the 4th tip, we gotta thank our sponsor. Oh, our video editor. Without him, these videos would still be sitting on my memory card and probably be too serious for YouTube. Although, between you and me, my biggest problem with him is sometimes he gets on these editing power trips and takes some of my videos and just chops them. Okay, tip 4, don't beat yourself up for failing. You will fail and you're gonna have to use it to learn. You're gonna need somewhere between 60 and 90 days to get really comfortable with budgeting and be able to predict it accurately for the coming month. Until then, you gotta give yourself some grace. And even after that, you have to realize your budget will change because life is unpredictable. Curse you, Rona! Tip 5, do make your budget before the 1st of the month every month. It's gonna make it just that much easier for you to be consistent and form a budgeting habit. If you don't create your February budget before February 1st, it makes it a lot harder to keep up on tracking expenses. Then you fall behind. I've done it, and catching up is never fun. Tip 6, don't give up on it. Keep it up and be persistent. A budget is so much easier after you've gotten into a habit of doing it every month. And those are some of my tips for budgeting. I want budgeting to be as easy as possible. So if even one of these budgeting tips works for you, that's a success in my book. Also, can we go back for a second and talk about how serious $110,000 is if you start a budget? As one of my favorite YouTubers, Rob Bill, would say, that's the equivalent of 15,714 Chipotle burritos. We won't even talk about how much chocolate milk that is. And that's only from a 1% extra savings per month. In my opinion, that's a low estimate. If instead we say that from budgeting you start to save an extra 2% per month, invested over 40 years, you're looking at almost $250,000. And that's all I got for you today. If you would, hit the like button, because when YouTube sees that, they're like, you know, people like that video. Maybe we should suggest it to others. And hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because then you can be updated whenever I come out with a new video to help you with your finances. Spoiler, it happens Mondays and Fridays. Remember, money doesn't have to be confusing, and Ohio State is better than Alabama. Go Bucks. Okay, me and my tiny desk are out.